Southwind is the wedding venue I built 3 years ago. Saw an opportunity there to take a risk, spend some money, and provide a alternative setting to the traditional church wedding. It seems like people have kind of gotten to the point where they like to have a simple ceremony and a large celebration, and it's done very well. I don't have an opening till December, and this is, into May, and I'm already into next year, so we'll average about 40 weekends a year. Roughly about 4,000 a weekend, about $150,000, $160,000. When they typically book a wedding a year in advance, I allow them to come out here and do save the date engagement photos. Usually the mom and the bride or planner come back 2 or 3 times throughout the year and just sit down and do planning sessions. And then we're texting, we're talking, so by the time they get here, we really have already created a friendship, per se. And then I try to post pictures of every wedding on social media. Those little brides go through there, they're looking at it, they know somebody that was there, and somebody's texting or talking. So it's just it's above my pay grade to understand as an older guy, but it works well for the young people. It is a lot of work. You gotta like to mow grass and do things. I have a son that's 24 in college, and as most 24, he's looking for a little money throughout the week, and he's turned in a real good help. He comes down a couple of days a week, helps me move heavy items, mows and does things like that. Other than that, it's really low maintenance as far as the facility is concerned, because it's set on a concrete slab, and cleanup's fairly easy, and it just works well. I took the contract from several other venues that I got online, because it was a resource, and pieced it together with the terminology and what I needed to include. This being a solid wood structure, I don't like fire. So if we're doing candles, it needs to be in a vase. Different things, if we're doing sparklers, it's outside. Some little things that you just are common sense, but you put it in writing and have that client sign off on it. My structure, of course, is insured, and I have liability, but also I ask each bride to provide a one-day event liability policy. An online source I found is very inexpensive, referred to it as Cousin Eddie insurance, because we all got one. Nobody's ever had to use it. Typically, if there is part of the crowd that is celebrating a little harder, then the mama and grandmama are here too. So it kind of self-polices, and if an event is going to be very large, I require them to have security. Yeah. And I provide them with a resource for that. On the event policy, host liquor liability is included. Okay. So I'm named as an additional insured. They are. It's always good to have a bartender, licensed or not, depending on the state that you're working from, because they keep it classy and they control the flow. And if somebody gets a little crazy, just shut them down or move on. From a marketing standpoint, it's that age and our time where it's social media, internet, things like that. Facebook, Instagram, web page. I don't do paper advertising. I'll have 3 to 5 brides a week, either texting me, emailing me, trying to find out about availability, dates, pricing, things like that. So it's a unique feature in the fact that every weekend 200 new people typically show up here for the first time, whether it be grandmother to the wedding party to whomever, and they go tell somebody else about it when somebody asks, where's a good place? So daily responsibilities, lots of just maintenance, grass cutting, limbs, trees, mop, clean, have everything. When they roll in here on this Friday, I want it to be as good as it can look, clean, and ready to go. The biggest expense is always the land and location. I think that would be key. If you have a lake, I think that is, I won't say it's a must, but it's a very appealing from a standpoint of visual and putting things together. That, and then what type of structure are you wanting to look? Are you wanting to be a traditional metal facility or something, or do you want it to look stone, or you're wanting maybe an older home that's on a lake, something to pick your market, that how you want to market it. Then go out to other places, look at the flow, and just see. I would visit weddings as they're happening. Ask them questions, much like this. What would you do different? How does it roll? What's your flow? How do you contract? Things like that. If you're not in their backyard, they'll be glad to share it with you, because there's enough for everybody, and location, if it's within a reasonable distance, they'll be a resource. Several of the venues have websites, so you can look at how they page designs, how they market, where are they connecting, how do they lay out photos, things like that. I'd say about 75 miles is a good working area. A lot of times the bride will be from right here marrying a boy from Texas. So this, she gets to pick where it is, so a lot of times there'll be out-of-town guests that have no tie to the community, but they're still helping spread the word back out. My father was wise enough to go ahead. I have 2 older sisters that live out of state, so he's got his trust set up, so when the day comes, the whole properties will be mine. And then I'm a single parent. I have 2 children, a daughter in nursing school and a son that's in computer science. She will probably be the one that will go and dream and see the world, and he'll probably be the one that stays here. So I probably see it being handed off to him with the living quarters of the houses, and him using that as an opportunity as an income.